Chris, it's lovely to be sitting with you. Congrats, first of all, on the Emmy nomination.
Thank you, Jeff.
I mean, Hacks has been such a terrific show, and I love how wherever fate takes Deborah and Ava, you have always been such a mainstay, and you always show up throughout the seasons wherever they end up finding themselves.
Yeah, that's been a blessing. It's great, great writing, and that's what we all strive for as actors, just to get such beautiful writing. And when they write to you, I mean, they started writing to me because, or for me, I should say, because it was just a beautiful journey, a beautiful arc. So I'm over the moon happy about that.
Absolutely. And I want to actually touch on that for a sec because a very special connective tissue across your career has been golf, whether it's, all the way back with Happy Gilmore and then Hack Season 3, there was that great episode called Par for the Course.
Yes.
So legend has it that winning a game of golf is what persuaded you to become Shooter McGavin in the first place. So when you were shooting that episode in Season 3, is that a lot of pressure, in between takes if someone challenges you or when you guys are just shooting around as the takes are being prepped, like all eyes on Shooter? Are they expecting a hole-in-one kind of thing?
Yeah, not that much, but there was a little competition going on. I got to say, it's just you're standing around. It's a lot of they're setting up the shot. That takes a minute and the lighting and all that stuff. And of course, you're just swinging that club a lot, and then you just kind of ding it out there. And anyone, and then someone steps up, one of the guys in one of the grips, and then crushes it out there too. So it's just a lot of fun. I love the fact they made this particular thing about golf. It was something that I think that the writers picked up when I said, it's for the kids, it's for the children.
You've often played in your career men in positions of authority, whether it's game show hosts across a number of projects or sports team owners, casino owners in the case of Marty. But in Season 5 early on, even though you've always been a commanding presence in Vegas, we see a level of emotional vulnerability that we're not used to. So how did you approach the tides turning when Marty is suddenly coming to Deborah for emotional advice and consolation?
I thought the whole human exchange between us two was just brilliant because she's been my mainstay, for 25 years at the Palmetto. So to tell her these terrible things that were going to happen, and then to say it's above my head, it's out of my purview to see how to change this. It's very hard, but at the same time, the writing again is what gets it going. I love the arc. I started out as sort of a bad guy friend / and then she gets me back, and then all those kind of things happening. But the arc with the emotion, with the deep connection that we have, made all the difference in the world. It's such a beautiful story right to the very end.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Marty handles losing that towering authority better than Shooter McGavin did at the end of the first Happy Gilmore?
Oh, definitely. He took it in stride. And Shooter got beat up pretty good and went into the hospital for a couple of days.
Yeah. Watching back as a fan, the episodes, is there a line of Jean's, whether this season or in the show as a whole, that's made you laugh the most?
She has one of the great laughs, first of all. She's got a cackle, as they say. It's like that. It's like, oh my God, I love this woman. She's the best. There are a lot of things that make me laugh, but her delivery is spot on. She does the driest delivery sometimes. It just makes me giggle the whole time. She's just like great. She's a true talent and knows when to turn it on and when to back it off. And she can play anything, which is really fun to play opposite of her when I'm doing it. I just react to the great Jean Smart.
That's lovely. Yeah, there's definitely a feeling wherever Jean is in the scene that can be something so spontaneous to her performance as Deborah.
That is so true. You never know what you're going to get. And there's little things that she just adds to it just to make it right and just to make it just her voice. And, they write so beautifully for her and for Hannah Einbinder. That's the love story of this whole 5 seasons, is that love story coming together. And many of my fans on the street that stop me in New York or when I'm walking around and say, "Oh, I love you, want you and Deb to get together," or that kind of thing. It's like, no, I don't think that's the story, but mum's the word. So it's just she's just a trillionaire kind of a beautiful person. She has so much love for her part and so much success for her part and so much like pinch me time because we just went to the event where she became a Hall of Fame member at the Television Archives. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
about that? So she's top of her game, and I just love her to death, and it's been a real gift to work with her in this manner of all these 5 seasons together. So it's great.
She's absolutely spectacular. Is there a moment that you guys have shared throughout the show's run that you've improvised that you maybe look back at with glee?
Well, there was a little improvised moment in, I think, season 2, where we're down in the wine cellar, and she has come over with a big gift for her daughter getting into the right school. But the thing, it was down there, and you could see the chemistry between us. It was really, really, vibing, and it was just wonderful. I would open a little wine, and we'd talk, and then I'd open a little bit more wine, and we just, get to the part where we're almost, really close. And then it gets broken off when my fiance comes in. But that kind of stuff was really palpable to me, to be reminiscing about our past, rendezvous together, and our sincere love and respect for each other. So that was just beautiful writing and fun to play.
So speaking of reminiscing, if you could go back and communicate with Marty, like at the start of the show, if it was just you as Chris McDonald talking to Marty the way he starts out, what's one thing or word of advice that you would give him as he's about to embark on the journey the character goes on?
That's a good question. I would probably say, hey, you got this. You're the man. You've got this whole thing going on. You've had 3 wives. You're on your 4th wife. Life's pretty good, huh? You just got to celebrate Marty, kind of like Shooter would. Celebrate himself on the golf course. You brought it up, so I had to bounce back at you. But it's kind of like, life's pretty good. I got to let her go pretty soon, but that kind of thing. But he would never do that. I mean, Marty is got a heart of gold, and that's why I love playing him, especially in the later seasons. He has a heart of gold, and he really cares about her. So, in that vein, I say that that's all an actor can hope and pray for, is that kind of connection between these two characters. And Gina and I think, play really beautifully together.
There's also a character in season 5, episode 3, who aspires to be a magician. If you had the power to magically transport back to any setting from Hacks, whether or not you were in the scene, just to hang out there for a day, what would that place be?
Well, that's easy. It's the final episode in Paris, walking on the Champs-Élysées, watching the boats go by, seeing the Eiffel Tower, just the Louvre, the time they spent in the Louvre, the music they had in the Louvre, the music they had at the very end while the 2 towers turned to each other. And that was just a brilliant shot by Adam Bricker, our DP. And I got to say, it's just magic time. So that's exactly where I'd like to be.
Yeah. I actually had the pleasure of speaking with John Philpott, who edited that final episode. And he said the amount of just hanging out and improvising around Paris could just make its own movie with how much footage they got.
That's for sure. I saw him yesterday as well at an HBO Max meeting, and of all the stars from the network. And it was just a blast to hang out and talk to him, because he really did all by himself, the final one. So a great talent, and hopefully a friend for a long time, because he's got real strong gifts.
So as we look at your very well-earned Emmy nomination for Guest Actor in a Comedy Series, I want to reflect, as you worked together with the late, great Rob Reiner 20 years ago on Rumor Has It, what does it mean now to have your name together with him in this category, a titan of comedy in front of and behind the camera?
Well, that is, it goes right to my heart right there, because of the tragedy that he lived and died through. One of the nicest, warmest people I've ever had to work with, the chance to work with, and just a beautiful human being, funny, comes from, a great, I worked with his father too, and I just
Carl
think
Reiner.
the whole thing, Carl Reiner, was just amazing. And so I think that there's a very strong possibility that he'll take the award away like they do, because it's a celebration of how great an actor, producer, director, writer that he was. and I celebrate that too. And if it happens, it happens. And I think the same thing with Michael J. Fox, who's also in the same category. The man's made such a big imprint on the Parkinson's disease. He's raised over $1.5 billion. I mean, this is big stuff. And I mean, we're not curing cancer, but at the same time, I'll be honest with you, I'd love to stand up there with that trophy in my hand. But at the same time, I know my place too if it happens the other way.
It's definitely such an incredible year. You're up there with amazing performers like we just spoke about. And amazing shows like The Bear and Shrinking.
Yes.
Michael J. Fox is like so great in that latest season. And it's been such a great time celebrating your terrific work throughout the 5 seasons. And it's now concluded on such an amazing high. Thank you so much for joining me. And it's been such a great ride with Marty and with the entire Hacks team.
I appreciate you. That's really nice to hear, and I'm glad you're a fan. I just say I hung out with the DTF guys yesterday at the HBO Max stuff, and it was just great to be there with all the great actors that showed up for this thing. Was a great event. So the celebration was on. You know what I'm saying? So it was terrific, and I appreciate your kind words, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, DTF St. Louis is also such a great show. I just finished it not too long ago.
Yeah.
Thank you again so much for your time, Chris.
Appreciate you. Thanks so much.